and clap, which is a sound signifier for editing, letting me know that the show has begun. Hey you, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining me for another electric unicycle blather video. Joining the genre of folks riding their electric unicycles and blathering about whatever they want to as they ride. So my channel is Upholding Art and Adventure currently. I'm working towards an electric unicycle television show called The Red Robot Chronicles. And in this show I'll talk about my interest in electric unicycles and film and TV and fine art, food and vegetables and business. Today I'm cruising downtown Santa Barbara and gonna be working at the farmers market. Good. Sound is still on. Going this way. Actually, I don't want to go this way. I want to go this way. Which is a little crazy. Switch directions right there. But the reason why I did that unfortunate move is I need air in my tire. So that brings me to another point. Driving recklessly on electric unicycles, which I just did. So, in this unregistered world of electric vehicles and bicycles and kids going really fast and electric unicycles being generally dangerous, I think about creating a show that follows the DMV's motorcycle license guidebook and driver's license guidebook, and basically doing a DMV course on its own channel for PEVs, a PEV DMV, I don't know. And then I would have discounted wheels for those that pass the test. How would I discount wheels? Well, I'd work through my buddy's company called Wheel Habit, and we've got S22 Pros, the Eagle, in stock. Now we are wanting to move these through our inventory, and so let me know in the comments if you might be interested in a Southern California wheel that's discounted right now. All right, let's get some air in this tire and then we'll start again. So here I'm at the gas station and I noticed that my wheel was pretty squishy. So I went over to the gas station and I asked her to turn on the air for me, which she had no problem doing. So these little, whoops. Oh, it's a speaker. I should probably put that away. These little valves are known to be a little bit tight. I like to put a foot on the air tube like that so I can have plenty to do over here. I don't have my really nice digital gauge, and I've got my wheel currently balanced on my suspension, which I don't love. There we go. Oh, geez. Really nicely done. That's why you wear your helmet at all times. Alright, fine. Just rest back on your suspension then. See if I care. Alright. Now, hit the button. Waiting. There we go. gonna go for 30. Probably like 31. And we'll see how that feels. Too much air, and you have the feeling of being at risk of toppling over. Too little air, squish the tire too much, bad for the rim. And apparently, according to Wheel Good Time, a good way to shear your valve stem off. I've not experienced that, but he seemed very sure that that was a big risk. So 31 is a safe zone for this 20-inch tire. And I cruise about 15 to 35 miles per hour regularly. So I'm not extremely fast, but I am fast enough. All right, let's see how the tire feels. Let's see here. Yeah, that feels proper. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, that feels good. You can always wear your hoodie if you go fast enough, because the air is cool and slices through your clothes. Oh Jesus, maybe that is a little bit full. I'll just get used to it a little bit. So, what's going on today? It's a beautiful April spring day here in Santa Barbara, and I am cruising on downtown. The trees and air. I feel amazing. I like to avoid as much traffic as possible. Looks like these are all going right. So I'm gonna try and go left. Actually not. I'm gonna get in line. Alrighty. Safe for me. I should probably just put a foot down and not sketch all the cars out, but in sketching the cars out, perhaps there's a case to be made that they're more aware of me. And they're like, what the f is that guy doing? But it's not the most stylish or badass. No turning signals from most people. They just drive as if they're not talking to anybody else. So yeah, my class would definitely be a defensive driving electric unicycle course, because the cars are not paying attention to you, so you got to pay attention to them. We are uptown Santa Barbara right now, and they are going in here. My tire feels a bit stiff. I'm trying to get used to it. So what's been going on out there? I'm so happy to see Dawn's posts coming back and hear her voice sound so clear and present. Been enjoying the BEV point of view quite a bit, who does a great blather video, which is what I call this genre. And he rides around Chicago, so thanks for talking about your Sherman L experience. I really can't wait to try that. I mean, Marty was just talking about how it's the best wheel. And also, everybody's talking about the newest wheel. The small light wheel. What's it called? Which looks like a great beginner wheel, and also just like a great commuter light wheel for that last mile goal. Such a great design. EVs was saying that they hired the same guy as who designed the King Song. So this company created by the YouTuber that was debuting wheels in his hometown of China. Can't remember his channel, but I'll come back and talk about his channel name here. His YouTube channel developed into its own company, and now he's collaborating with the parts and pieces of the industry that he really likes, and I think that is incredibly collaborative and wonderful. If he's got LeaperKim software, he's got his own designers that he's collaborating from King Song. So he's collaborating with the X factor of which is himself and his own team. And then adding the magic from LeaperKim and King Song of design and software. That's smart. Really like that trolley handle lid design, curved like that. I think electric unicycles could use a curve here and there, but it's funny because we also want a flat side for our custom pad additions, custom power pads. I'm gonna get on this side. Yeah, I've loved watching the iterative process of the design over the years. Since the 16X, when I came into it and I got a King Song 16X, I just always thought that looked like an incredible little robot. And here's the Santa Barbara Mission and the Santa Barbara Rose Garden. Very beautiful, affluent part of town. We rode by Peabody Elementary School earlier. That's a cool little circular block, and now here's Roosevelt. So it's elementary schools and missions and rose gardens and big houses, gorgeous architecture. You'll see some of this, what would you say that style is? Craftsman style You'll see the Dutch style, the dark wood cabin style. This is a crazy, look at how many stops there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 5-stopper. I know a lot of cities have a lot of confusing intersections like that. Santa Barbara's confusing because it's not built on one grid, north-south, east-west, exact coordinates. There are parts of town that are, and parts of town that are older, and they go along with the line of the coast. And the Santa Barbara coastline, the mountains and the coast are angled. They're not a straight line if you look at the map. It's like California's little elbow, and it tucks in, and it's actually facing southward. If you can, so that just creates, instead of a westward beach, we have a southward beach on the west coast. Super different and interesting and wild. Gorgeous day. Most important thing is safety. Look at this classic. Ooh, that's nice. Let the car go. Feels like my front pushers could be a little bit farther forward. I was thinking about a interesting invention would be something that started here, where my shins touch. And then it was kind of like a pedal that had some actuation, and you could push into it and it would change and angle forward just a little bit with some good amount of tension to hold you. But then you'd get that feeling of accelerating, maybe pushing into a pedal, like a gas pedal or a brake, you know, and you would push and it wouldn't just stay, because sometimes it feels like I gotta hyperextend my knee and lean over, in which case I stick out my butt. So that's how I mitigate that. Instead of leaning over my knees, crouching into a chair position, and then pushing from a seated position like this. You know, like sit down and then push, rather than lean in and push. So it's a little bit more of a bend your knees and then push open, and that's your body's accelerator. Like push from seat to stand, and that'll give you a nice little push. You know, here's like an example of just leaning forward, which is fine, and then an acceleration path, which is more of a seated push and push and push, like that. I find that pretty nice. What are these cars gonna do? Alright, so now we're entering the do not enter, because we are a micro mobility mobile. And there's the farmer's market coming up. Here's a squirrel. Let me see here. Okay. Should be walking at Am I gonna get in trouble?
This way? Okay, it's this way. No, not the button. That's not.
It's the hardest thing to do is to just get off of this thing and walk like a normal person. Here's the heart of the farmer's market.
But it's going right now.
And there's Ari's stand. Oh my gosh. Hey. Hi.
Oh my God.
Here I am. Hi. Hi.
Is that a camera?
It is.
That's
Yeah, I'm recording my ride.
God, that thing's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a good ride. I haven't been riding for a minute.
Yeah. It's like pretty gnarly exercise, I imagine.
Yeah.
Because I rode the like small ones of
Yeah.
that, and it's like so, yeah. I was barely strong enough. Yeah. And I'm like pretty strong.
So whenever I see you guys like ripping on them, I'm like, dude, that's so funny.
So this is my ride home video after working the farmer's market. Had a really nice day selling bouquets and herb bundles at Sunrose Design. And it's the Easter weekend, so flowers are needed right now for family gatherings. And since I've been, oh, here's the Santa Barbara drum circle. Having a blast. Sounding good. Future soccer player. Cabrillo bike lane is always a fun place for everybody to walk and enjoy the day together. And it is a bit crowded. People love to rent these little Surreys, 4-wheel bicycles, quadricycles. Let's see if I can make this pass. Made it safely. It's kind of a risky traffic zone, honestly.
But they made sure.
I just go around everybody. And on to State Street. There's an electric bike store, rental. I wonder if we had a store here in Santa Barbara, if it would do well for electric unicycles. No one knows how to ride them. We're such an enigma. There's not much of a market besides those people that are, you know, few and far between, I guess. I wonder how all the companies feel about that. The Land and Sea Shark. That thing goes on the water and off the water. It's a cool van. Nice busy Saturday for a ride. Figueroa Street. Some great restaurants over here. Gorgeous. Wow. Some fancy people. Dressed up. Now here's the Granada. I don't really have that much to talk about on the way home. That'd be nice. A little bit of ASMR, me breathing. Watch out for doors. Be nice if this was green too. But it isn't. And green. Forerunner. Looking at doors while I ride as I'm going up in the bike lane. Looking at parked cars, assessing what they're doing. If there's anybody in there, and open their doors, I want to know about it. Safety on the road is all about premeditation. Already knowing what's going to happen because you've read the situation appropriately. You have to read it from quite a distance. Look for rocks, potholes. That's why we have suspension too, so we don't have to see everything. And that car may or may not see me. So I slow way up because he's just looking at his fucking screen. Miss this light. Dang it. Mission and State Street. And that's my cue. Bye-bye. Get through this construction zone before the first car. Check my rear view. This person walking across, does she see me? Thank goodness she does. Wow, psycho. The road is a very dangerous place. Not only are our vehicles on the more dangerous side, but the vehicles all around us are populated by people not paying attention. They're not paying attention on foot, on skateboard, on bicycle, in car, in bus, coming out of parking lots, coming out of any parking structure or driveway. They're not paying attention when they are running it. They're not paying attention at all, so we have to do all the paying attention for them. That's right. only that, but everybody hates everybody on the road. It's not a very loving environment out here. Let's see. my tire is a little overinflated. It's just the wheel feels a little squirrelier. And if I just have a couple less, just a little bit less air pressure, I think it just adds to that stick on the ground feeling. Maybe I could get that by adjusting my suspension a bit. Stay down, Boone. Down. Don't do that. Hello, my boys. Come on out.